Hi everybody, welcome to School of Scarlet. Today I have another message for you. So if you're new here, my name is Scarlet. I'm an intuitive, a teacher, and a counselor. So today I'm going to be sharing with you an energy forecast of what I'm sensing for the year 2025. So happy new year to y'all. And so today I kind of do a lot of my messages around daily life and things that kind of come up every day for me. And from that, I gain intuitive messages. So I was kind of setting up here for right now and, kind of cleaning up the area. And I noticed that there was a crayon that was sitting there. It was a crayon that we had used to kind of mark up an area that we wanted to hang up a picture frame. And we didn't have a pencil, so we used a crayon. But anyhow, I had forgot to put it away. So as I was going to go put it away, I noticed that it was broken and it broke into two pieces. And so one of the intuitive messages that came through just as I was setting up for here and I was putting this crayon away is that a crayon, even though it can be broken, it could still be used and it is still just as useful as it was before. And now we have two pieces. So we are multidimensional beings. There are more aspects to us. And even though we think we might be broken, those broken spots or those spots where light can get in are multidimensional. We are learning more aspects of ourselves that we didn't know that we were. We thought we were just a human being. We thought we were just this person. We thought we were very limited. But as we begin to grow and even break, we begin to see that there's more aspects to ourselves. So I wanted to share that here with you today. So the other thing that was coming through for the year 2025 was a lot about us changing, letting go, coming into more of our authentic selves. So I'm someone that loves mermaids. I've always loved mermaids since I was a little girl. I even have a mermaid cottage, as I call it. If you're not familiar, I have another channel where I kind of share my mermaid cottage and home and stuff like that. It's called Scarlet's Intuitive Life. But it's not really about that today. I just wanted to share that I picked up kind of, it's plastic, but when you put it up against the window, it looks like stained glass. But essentially it's a mermaid. And maybe this is a better way to see it. So this is a mermaid I'm going to hang up on one of the windows at my little cottage. But this mermaid is really symbolizing what this year is going to be like for us. If you remember the story of the Little Mermaid, even if you just remember the story from the Disney movie, the Little Mermaid, she had a desire to be human, right? And she would pick up all of the things like, maybe like the forks and the spoons and things that would fall down from human life. And she would collect all these things and daydream about becoming a human, becoming something that really she was not. She was a mermaid. But she had such a desire to do this that she went to a sea witch and she made a deal with the sea witch to give up her precious gift of song, of her voice, of singing. And for that, in exchange, she would get a pair of legs and then she could become a human. And, we find out later she falls in love with the prince and all of these things. But without her voice, she really couldn't appeal to the prince. She really wasn't being herself. She really didn't have that spark. She really wasn't who she was meant to be. So it was kind of a curse that she didn't have her voice any longer. And so the year 2025 is going to be a year where we discover that we're more than what we think we are. And oftentimes sometimes consciously, sometimes and most of the times very unconsciously, we put up masks. We have a kind of this armor around us protecting who we truly are deep down inside. Maybe you grew up in a family where it wasn't okay to show emotions, or maybe you grew up in an area where possibly it was dangerous and you had to put up like this tough skin, or maybe, there was aspects of yourself that you felt weren't acceptable in the environment you grew up in or, you're around. So what ends up happening is we end up creating personas that are acceptable to those around us. We may even want to just people please. That might just be the main thing that you're doing, is just people pleasing your family. Maybe they always wanted you to become a doctor, so you become a doctor, but really deep down inside, you wanted to be a hairdresser or a painter or something else that maybe was not acceptable by them. Maybe you fall into a situation where you have a child, out of wedlock or something like that, and you decide to marry someone, and deep down inside you're not meant to be with this person, but you do it out of obligation, out of the tradition, out of respect for that situation. But deep down inside that that's not what makes you happy. That's not who you are. Maybe you're forced to live in a place or take a job that doesn't align with who you are, but society says that you need to do this, or you're feeling pressure to measure up in some way to your friends, to your family, to people around you. So you begin to build a persona that oftentimes is not really who you are. And just like the Little Mermaid, she really desperately wanted to be a human. She wanted to be in that world, and she wanted to be accepted and be just like everyone else that is a human. And she had to give up her gift. So she put aside what she really loved to do and her true gift of singing in order to become something she was not, to live in a world that was what she desired at the time. So sometimes we do desire to live in this world or to be part of something or be accepted by a certain group of people. But later we find out how painful it is that we've given up our gift, or we've given up our voice, or we've given up ourselves in a way. So this is the year of really breaking through all that, you see. And so when we break through all that, we realize that our true gift was being ourselves. Our authentic selves was actually the light within us. And so the Little Mermaid has to go through basically a whole situation of her getting her voice back, of fighting with the sea witch, of getting her voice back. And that's what this year is about. We're not necessarily in a battle, but it can feel like a battle as we begin to get ourselves back. So we're going to see a lot of breaking away from those things that no longer serve us, those things that no longer align with us, those things that are not true to us. So we may see some very painful things. We may see that, some marriages may break up. We may see that there's a move and it's, hard. We may see that there is like a job change. We may see that there is like us stepping up to family and friends and showing them our true selves. And even though that may be painful and they may deny us and it may not be aligned to who they are, we may be rejected. This is something that we have to do. So we are in this process of aligning to our authentic selves, to really taking those final steps and breaking free of any constructs that are not true of who we are, no matter how painful, no matter how scary, and how uprooting it is. So we're going to feel very vulnerable. We've, in the past year, let go of a lot of things. We let go of coping mechanisms that were not aligning to us anymore, that were unhealthy. We let go of addictions. We let go of ways of thinking, beliefs, self-talk that was not helping us but harming us. We let go of basically all of these kind of false constructs and ideas. We've let go of that stuff. So we're kind of free falling. We don't feel like we have any tie, any real connection other than the tie and connection within the source and spirit that we've discovered within us. And other than that, there seems to be no safety net anymore. And I want you to know that there is a safety net. And that safety net is your authentic self. And it may not be clear to you now. It may not feel like a safety net. It really feels like we're free falling. But as you begin to align more to who you are, choosing yourself, protecting who you are, and not abandoning yourself, you're going to see that that net is you. It's you. You're taking care of who you are. You're aligning to who you are. And as you begin to do that, your reality begins to shift and change. And you're going to see in your reality those things that you wanted so much. But it can be painful. Like I said, it will probably require you to lose friends, to lose family, to lose the acceptance of some people. But just like in The Little Mermaid, if you watch even the Disney version, she goes against her family. She does all of these things and she becomes human, and it doesn't work out and this and that. But in the end, it ends with her getting married to the prince, which is something she wanted. But now she's got her voice. She's got her authentic self back. And what do we see in the ocean around her? Her family is there watching at the wedding. They are accepting of her. They see her true light, and now they can show up for her. So we may lose people, but those people that truly matter will show up in the end. So have no fear. Choose yourself. Do not abandon yourself this year. So as we've let go of all those things, like I talk about, our coping mechanisms, the addictions that we use to kind of get through things, you know, those habits, whether it was like gossiping or, you know, doing this or that, whatever it was that we were doing that kind of kept us in this kind of sense of safety for ourselves, we've dropped it. And so again, you're going to feel like this very soft skin, like you're just a baby here. You're going to feel very vulnerable. You maybe have going to lose actual physical material things. You may experience a loss of your income, but I want you to know that whatever it is that you're choosing to move into, it will flourish. It will grow. And we just have to start where we're at. It may cause us to leave these things, these safety nets. You know, some of us have gotten into jobs that are like 9-to-5 jobs, and they don't align with us at all. And they take up all of our time, energy, everything. And maybe we need to break free from that. And I'm not telling you to leave that, but that's something you'll internally and with your intuition know when it's time. But this is just an example. And if you were to leave that, you leave the security, the false security of what that income provides, of what those benefits provide, of whatever. But you don't realize everything that you truly gain. Your time, your freedom, your health. Believe it or not, you may not have, you know, these things like whatever medical care at the time, but you will get back a lot of your health. You will become healthy and whole the more that you choose yourself. So I want you to be confident this year. If you're feeling like you want to move into entrepreneurship, if you want to start something for yourself, I want you to know that this is the year to do it. You will start small. You know, whatever it is that you do, if you start a YouTube channel and you begin it, you don't have to let everybody know. Just go ahead and start and flourish and let it grow just like a seed. You water it every day, you give it sunshine, you bask in it, all these things, and it'll slowly grow. And before you know it, whatever it was that you want will have grown. So I want you to know whatever it is that's in your heart that you're wanting to happen for yourself, you can make it happen. It will happen as you begin to listen to your internal knowing, your authentic self, and begin to take those steps. So as I was setting up here as well, I was just picking up a cord and I found this kinetic sand. So I want you to know you can build your life today. So I hope that this message found you well. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, a heart, comment down below. I love you all. Happy New Year.